Alright, this is lesson 53 for 8th grade, and today we're talking about central tendency problems, which sounds kind of weird, but all we really have to think about is central tendency. That's our mean, median, mode, and range. So those are the things that we'll be talking about today, and then how we can use them to kind of help us figure out how to interpret a graph or a scenario. This will be something that we will see on the MCAs and throughout high school and throughout our lives, so it's a good thing to go over. Another thing I was going to say about this. Okay, drawing a blank right now, but it will come to me as we go out through the lesson. But we've just got 3 examples here, and we'll go through them and kind of see what we're looking at. Alright, so we're going to start off pretty basic. The owner of a cafe was interested in the age of her customers in order to plan marketing. One day she collected these data on customers' ages. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 ages here that she collected. So this is an example of something that a business might use to help them market towards a certain age group. Okay. And A says, make a line plot of the data, then find the mean, median, mode, and range. So, line plot, that's kind of like one of these things. Not a very straight line. But what we look for is, I'm going to see where they stopped and started their line. Okay. They went from 20 up until 80. So our lowest is 28, our highest is 75. So let's do 25, and then we'll go by 5s. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I'm going to have to extend my line here. 65, 70, and 75, 80. Okay, so there we go. Just a line plot, then we kind of put things about where they should go. You can get more accurate with this, but I'm going to keep it pretty tame and just kind of approximate. So let's see, we've got a 27 and a 28. We just kind of put those about where they should go. 27, 28 maybe, 33, a little bit over halfway, 75, that goes right here. How about 31, about right there, 30, 73, 5 about right there. 41 and 38, 41, 38, and then 42 and 35. Alright, so that kind of just shows you about where the age groups, at least for this set of data, about where the ages are. It looks like they're more towards the lower end, between 25 years old and 45 years old. And then we've got a couple that are a little older, kind of off up there. So we want the mean, median, mode, range, which one best represents the typical age of the customers. So let's take a look at the mean, median, mode. Mean, median, mode, range. Okay? And if we go through and do this, mean is the same thing as average. We add up all the ages that we have. We would do 28 plus 33 plus 31 plus 41 plus 42, and then add all these as well. And then we've got 10 ages, so we will divide by 10. And if we do that, we do get a decimal. And I'm not going to go through and do it, but the mean should be 42.3. I'm confident in your adding and dividing skills. So, mean, 42.3 about. Let's look at the median. Median, that's when we order them, the set of data, and then we pick out the middle number. One thing that I've mentioned, let's look at the word in that, media. And when I think about media, I think about like Hollywood and all the paparazzi, the media that want to get involved in other people's lives. They want to be in the middle of everything, right? So that's why I use, that's how I remember median. So if you want to go ahead and use that, go for it. So let's do, let's order from least to greatest. Looks like 27 is our lowest. 27, 28. What's next? 33. Nope, 31. 33. 35, 38. 41, 42. And then 73, 75. Okay. So we kind of do some crossing off because we want to find the middle number. So we cross off here, and here, here, and here, here, like that. And now, a lot of times we'll be left with just one number in the middle, but this time we're not. We're left with two numbers. So what we do with these is if we average those two out, or find the halfway distance between them, that would be our median. Median. Sorry. So we could add 35 and 38 and divide by 2, but if we think about it, it halfway should be, what, 36.5? Let's see if that's what they got. Yep, 36.5 is halfway between.
Darian Jensen, please come to the elementary office. Darian Jensen, please come to the elementary office. Thank you.
Right there. Okay. And the mode talks about which one shows up the most. The most often. So mode, you can look at the first two letters, MO, and come up with a little mnemonic device, most often. Okay, just had to double check what we do here because there isn't one that shows up more than once, okay? All the ages are different. So there is not a mode. There is none. There aren't any that repeat. So we're not even going to worry about that. All right. So that can't be our answer to B. Our range is your highest age minus your lowest age. So our highest age was 75, and our lowest age was 27. If we subtract those, we get 8 and 4. So 48 for range. And now it asks us which one best represents the typical age for our data. Now I want to double check and see what they did. And that's what I thought. A lot of us like to look to the mean right away to give us the best representation. However, when we look at this set, we've got two fairly high ages over here, a 73 and a 75, where most of the ages are over here. Without the 75 and the 73, the mean would probably be the best thing to use, but since we have the 73 and 75 added in there, the mean gets bumped up higher than it should be. So we actually call these two outliers. We've talked about those before. Outliers, because they don't seem to fit with the rest of the data. They're the points that don't really make sense in the set. Alright, so the mean gets jacked up because of those outliers. So what actually is the best representation is the median, because 36.5 lands, right about in here, and that's in the thick of things. That's right in the middle, where if we look at our mean 42, that's not really representing our data. It's a little on the high end. So the median's the best one to look at there. All right. So not only do we need to be able to find the mean, median, mode, range, we want to know what we can use them for. Oops, sorry. So for instance, let's take a look at this. Consider the salaries of the employees of a small business. In an interview, a prospective employee was told that the average salary of employees is $50,000. How might this information be misleading? So let's take a look. These are yearly salaries in thousands of dollars. And yeah, the mean actually is $50,000. So we can look at it like this. The median is 40,000. And the mode is 32,000. And the range is 65,000. Alright. So how might this be misleading? Well, the most often or the most frequent pay is 32,000. We've got 1, 2, looks like there's 2 of those. Okay. Now the mean. When we look at that, 50,000 sounds like a pretty sweet deal. I would love to be earning $50,000 right now a year, but I'm not. But that's a story for another time. What caused it to go up so high? We look at the median. The median's 40,000, our middle number, and that's our middle salary. But our mean is higher than that middle salary. Okay. So why is it so much higher? Well, look at these prices right here. More particularly, those two, $85,000 and $95,000 a year. Okay, those two would probably be considered outliers in this case. They're far from other salaries. 67 is even a little bit on the higher end. But without these two in there, we would have a better representation with the mean. But since they are in there, the mean is higher than it should be. So yes, the average amount for these employees at least is 50,000, but that's probably not the best representation of what you can earn on average. All right, our last one here. Check my time. All right, we are almost done. Says Josiah sells 3 different hats to test their popularity. His sales are reported in a bar graph below. The height of each bar corresponds to the number of hats of what type Josiah sold, or the number of hats of the type that he did sell. So find the mode of the data. Why are we not interested in the mean or the median? Okay. First of all, the mode, the most frequent. So we're looking at type 1, type 2, type 3. Which type of hat sold the most? What's the most often that occurred? And type 1 is the mode. So we've got type 1 right there. And we are not interested in the mean or the median because look at what we're talking about. We're talking about types of hats. We're not really talking about numbers here like we were before. We're not talking salaries. We're talking about hat types. And it doesn't really make sense for us to find the mean or the median of the type of hat. They would actually say that this is a qualitative type data set as opposed to a quantitative. Qualitative is more descriptive. Okay, we're talking about hats, where quantitative is about numbers, money, things like that. All right. So this is our last example that we were going to go over, and we'll cover more of this tomorrow.